Good morning. This is Arlene J. Gatpo and I will be your teacher in EPP 6. Our topic will be draft patterns for household linens in this quarter 3, week 4. For our objectives, we have A. Draft pattern for household linens. B. Explain the safety precautions. C. Shows creative and marketable household linens as means to augment family income. Before we proceed to our main topic, let's define first the following words: draft, patterns, creative, marketable, fabric. A draft, it is a plan, a blueprint, design, artist impression, diagram, drawing, outline, sketch, pattern, map, layout, or representation. A pattern is something used as a model to make a copy, a design, or an expected action. Creative, it is an ability, a power to create, gifted, innovative, productive, or a visionary. Marketable is a saleable, a product that is highly marketable in the market or in demand in the market. And the last one is the fabric. It is a cloth or other material produced by weaving together cotton, nylon, wool, silk, or threads. Now class, we'll have our pre-test. Rearrange the procedures in making draft patterns of pillowcase from the first step to last. Write number 1 to 5. First, measure your pillow at home and then get the length and the width. Second, extend lines to form a rectangle. Number 3, on your pattern paper, draw a vertical line which is the width measurement and horizontal line which is the length measurement. And number 4, cut the pattern. And number 5, add 5/8 inches seam allowances along the 3 sides of the 2 inches in the opening. Now for looking back, we have identify the following tools and materials in sewing. Write letter A if it is a measuring tool, B if it is a cutting tool, C if it is a marking tool, and D if it is sewing tool. The choices are pinking shears, pins, tailor's chalk, French curve, hem gauge, thimble, tracing wheel, needle threader, dressmaking shears, and pin cushion. This time, we will be discussing about the draft patterns for household linens. Household linen are items made of cloth such as the tablecloths, sheets, pillowcase that are used in the home. Patterns are important in making sewing projects. To be able to create one pattern, it must be drafted first. They will make your work much easier and will help you to save time and energy. Procedures in making pillowcase. First, cut the fabric with assigned measurements. And second, fold the fabric lengthwise. The right sides of the fabric facing each other, and the wrong sides are facing out. Number 3, stitch the long side of the fabric with running stitch by hand or sewing machine. Once the two long sides have already stitched, turn the fabrics and continue stitching in one short side. Leave one short side open. Number 4, hem the open side by folding the fabric back by 1/2 inches. Fold again the open side by 3 inches. Number 5, sew around the base of the hem to keep in place. Number 6, decorate the pillowcase by adding decorative laces or other decoration. Here is the procedure in making the table runner. First, measure the length and the width of the table depending on how you want your table runner to go. And number 2, fold the hem the sides by turning in 1/2 inch, then another turn in by 1 inch. Number 3, with 2 pins mark the point where the hem edge intersect at the side corner. And number 4, Remove the hem by keeping the 1/4 inch fold in place and turn the right side together. Number 5. Draw a straight basting stitch from the outside corner to the inside corner and pin the 2 layers. Number 6. Finish the long edge, turn under 1 by 1/2 inch and top stitch in place by 1/8 inch from the edge. How to draft a pattern for table napkin. First, on the pattern paper, draw a square measuring 16 by 16 inches, and second, add 5/8 inch allowance of the pattern, and third, cut the pattern. Now, let's explore more on how to make a hand towel. First, on the paper pattern, draw a rectangle measuring 15 inches wide by 25 inches long. Second, add 5/8 inch allowance on all sides of the pattern. And third, cut the pattern. For precautionary measures, when sewing, one must observe precautionary measures to avoid accidents in the use of the scissors or the pins and needles. First, do not use the teeth in cutting the thread. Second, do not put the needles and pin between the lips. And the third one, use the thimble for pushing the needle through the cloth. Some guidelines to consider in preparations of a project. First, study the project plan. And second, choose the fabric most suitable for the project. And third, decide on the design of the project. Number 4, plan the steps to follow in making the project. 5, prepare the sewing tools and sewing machine. And 6, prepare the materials needed. Sewing household linens is a creative skill that can be learned by a young child of your age. This can be easily because of the simple straight lines that are mostly followed in cutting the materials. Sewing can be done manually or with the use of the sewing machine. The experience of being able to create something gives inner joy and personal satisfaction. Besides, anyone able to perfect this creative skill can also open the chances of being able to create and sell products for additional income. What did you learn today, class? Today, you've learned about the draft patterns for household linens. For our activities, we have A. Enumeration. Answer the following questions. 1 to 3. Give at least 3 materials needed in making draft pattern. 4 to 7. Give some guidelines to be considered in the preparations of a project. And 8 to 10. Give at least 3 precautionary measures in sewing. Remember, class, that for your safety, work in a well-lit and ventilated area. Check that the table and chair in the work area are stable. Maintain your work area clean and orderly. And it is better to have your own tools and equipment. And follow the instructions of a design to be able to execute workmanship. And avoid using too much pins on your fabric or pattern, for this can cause the wrinkles in the fabric. Pins might prick your fingers too. Do not throw away scraps of fabric. And try to reuse them in another project. And last one, keep them in your storage box. Now class, we'll have our post test. Multiple choice. Choose the letter corresponding to the best answer. Write the letter of your answer. Number 1. What is the first step in making the pattern for a pillow? A. Cut the pattern. B. Draw a vertical line and horizontal line. C. Measure the pillow, get the length and the width. D. Add 5/8 inch in seam allowance along the 3 sides of the pattern. Number 2. In getting the measure of a household linens, the vertical lines represent the A. Height, B. The length, C. The width, or D. The width. Number 3. How many inches is needed in the seam allowance for the pillowcase pattern? A. 1/2 inch, B. 3/4 inch, C. 5/8 inch, and D. 1 inch. Number 4. In making the pattern of the pillowcase in the seam allowance for the pillowcase pattern, A. 1 inch, B. 2 inches, C. 4 inches, and D. 6 inches. Number 5. What is the last step in making a pattern for a pillowcase? A. Add 5/8" inseam allowance. B. Cut the pattern. C. Draw a vertical line. And D. Draw a horizontal line. Number 6. What is the best paper used to make patterns? A. Carbon paper. B. Cartolina. C. Coupon band. And D. Pattern paper. Number 7. What is the first step in making a pattern? A. Draw a square, measure 16 inches. B. Add 5" in allowance in all sides of the pattern. C. Cut the pattern. And D. None of the above. Number 8. The measurement needed to make a pattern for a table napkin is A. 10 inches by 12 inches. B. 12 inches by 14 inches. C. 16 inches by 16 inches. D. 15 inches by 20 inches. Number 9. What is the measurement needed to make a hand towel pattern? A. Scissors, coupon band, pins, and pencil. B. Needle, pins, thread, and pencil. C. Pattern paper, ruler, tape measure, pencil, and scissors. D. Scissors, thimble, pencil, and pen cushion. Number 10. Which of these tools used to draft a pattern? A. 12 inches width by 16 inches length. B. 15 inches width by 25 inches length. C. 15 inches width by 20 inches length. D. 16 inches width by 16 inches length. Goodbye, class, and this is the end of our discussion. We'll see you next week.